All right, so you've put in the work, weeks, maybe even months, to get your design to that point where it just works. You've got a solid, functional prototype. And hey, that is a huge milestone. But here's the real challenge, right? How do you take it from just functional to something truly unforgettable? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into, that crucial final step. And this really gets to the heart of it all. See, a functional prototype proves an idea can work, but a convincing prototype, that makes people believe in it. It makes them feel it, trust it. Honestly, it's the difference between a rough sketch and a masterpiece. And this lays out the challenge perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your mid-fidelity blueprint. It's the functional idea. Then, way over on the right, that's the dream, the polished, professional final product. But that big gap right in the middle, that's where we live. That's where the magic has to happen. Closing that gap is what turns a solid concept into a product that users absolutely love and stakeholders are ready to approve.
So, how do we do it? How do we get from one side to the other? We build a bridge. And that's exactly what this is all about, giving you the tools and the mindset to bridge that design gap one screen at a time.
The official term for all this bridge building is enhancing high-fidelity screens. And what that really means is upgrading your prototype's visual and interactive realism. The goal is to close that gap and perfectly match the vision for the final product. It's the stage where every little detail really starts to sing.
Now, what's really cool about this bridge is that it's not just a one-way street. It's more like a two-lane bridge with traffic flowing in both directions. It serves two very different but equally important groups: your users and your stakeholders.
Okay, so for your user, this level of polish is everything. It creates an immersive and, more importantly, a believable experience. When a prototype feels real, guess what? Your usability testing becomes so much more effective. People stop thinking like they're just testing something, and they start acting like real customers, giving you that gold standard feedback. Now let's talk about your stakeholders, the people who actually greenlight your project. For them, a polished screen is a super powerful signal. It isn't just about making things pretty. It screams professionalism. It shows your design is matured, and it signals that you have a really strong attention to detail. It proves you haven't just had a cool idea, you've thought through how to execute it perfectly. So, if we're going to build this bridge, what do we need? What are the actual materials? Let's break down the foundational components that make up a truly polished, high-fidelity screen. The source material points to 4 essential building blocks. First, accurate colors. They have to be brand accurate to build that instant recognition. Second, refined components, where every single icon and button is tweaked to be pixel perfect. Third, realistic spacing, because great proportions guide the eye and just keep things from feeling cluttered. And finally, detailed visuals. High-quality images are absolutely crucial for building credibility and telling your story. Okay, so having the right materials is one thing, but now for the fun part. The art and the science of it all, the engineering. How do you actually assemble these pieces to create a screen that isn't just polished, but is also functional and totally intuitive? And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. It's a balancing act, right? The whole point is to guide the user's eye naturally, almost effortlessly, through the content, all while keeping a beautiful aesthetic harmony. It has to look great and feel great to use. And this is where you, as the designer, start making those really deliberate choices. As you can see here, you might adjust how prominent a button is to guide a user's next move. Or you might improve the image quality to make the whole thing feel more believable. Or maybe you refine the layout to create a clear visual hierarchy that makes the screen super easy to scan. So, after all that work, what's on the other side of our bridge? What's the destination? Well, when you've combined the right materials with some really thoughtful engineering, you get to something special. The launch-ready prototype. And let's be absolutely clear on this one. High fidelity is not just decoration. It is not just about making things look nice. It is tangible, concrete proof of the quality, the maturity, and the thoughtfulness behind your design work. And that really brings us to the ultimate goal, doesn't it? It's to create a prototype that can, as the source material says, stand confidently as a launch-ready representation of the product. It's a prototype so polished, so believable, that it feels like the real thing. Because, in every way that matters, it basically is. So as you go back to your own projects, I want you to ask yourself this question. Is the thing you're building right now just a functional blueprint? Or are you taking those extra steps to enhance it, to polish it, and to turn it into a true preview of success? The choice is all yours.